All right, let's place this back the way it was, make the floor back to green by dragging the green onto the floor. Yellow's fine, but for me, while I'm making these videos, it's just too bright. So I kind of want it a little softer. File, save. I do that frequently, even more than I do. If you want, that's fine. Now we're going to be discussing the scale or sizing tool, and that one's pretty easy. You grab the little thing here and you pull the direction you want or push. Same with this direction, same with this direction. So you can change it to anything you want. Global and local doesn't make any difference in this one because it's always the size of the object is relative to itself. So this doesn't really matter here. So you can also go over here to the scale in the inspector. Now see this little thing? That's a lock. It's not locked. That's a link. I don't like that icon, but that's the way it is. That is like a bicycle link. It's now linked. So if I change one, it changes all of them. I'm holding my left mouse button on the X and going up and down. I could do it on the Y or the Z while they're linked. I can unlink them and it'll just change one. I could also just type in here 8 and it'll change it to that size. Same with any of these. They're all the same. And you can still rotate and change the position if you wanted to. It doesn't have a lock. Sometimes that wouldn't make much sense to lock them relative to each other in positions, but Z position, which is the blue, Y position, which is the height, changing this to local and changing the Y position, it doesn't matter because I'm changing the Y position, right? When I use the move tool and go to local, it changes the X, the Y, and the Z to make it move that direction and stay in that position, right? That's not so. It's kind of part of the move tool explanation, but it kind of needs to do all the rest of this first so that you knew what I was talking about. Same here. You can move it here, and it changes the other ones to make sure it stays the same relative to the I position, even though it has to move the other items around, the other values around. Let's do a file save, and this is the end. You have now mastered move tool, local and global, rotation. You are an expert at either the inspector or the fancy little tool here, the size tool. And that's all we're going to cover. The rest of these I rarely use. You can look them up, but we won't be using them in this lesson or this class. Or maybe I will later, but I don't think so. And if I do, I'll teach you them then. And I'm not trying to skip things. It's just there's thousands of things that we can do. And so we're just trying to get to a game production. So again, file save, and then I'm going to close out this video. The next video, you'll make your game buildable and runnable on Windows.